Hey, Algebra 1 kids, this is Dr. Callahan with Week 18 Wednesday. How are you guys doing? Go ahead and pause the video and answer the following 3 questions for your warm-up log. Okay, so we are actually going to have a new packet. I just realized I gave you guys a different study guide than I should have, but that's okay because I did go ahead and pass out the new one. So if you haven't grabbed the new study guide yet, make sure you guys do so. So the new study guide has 57 questions, and the questions are very similar to your final. So we have already completed the following ones. And so today is Wednesday, and so I'm going to go over question number 16 to 20. So I hope you guys are ready for that. So as you can see on your test, on your final, there will be a formula sheet just like this. And we are going to go to questions number 16 to 20 today. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at question number 16. It says, which function is represented by the table of values below? So looking at this right here, and so if you take a look at this right here, then you have your correct answer is going to be C, because in the differences, you have a difference of 6, and then the multiplier is 1/3 from each of the fractions, and then it's to the x power. Okay, for number 17, it says identify which functions represent exponential decay. Select all that applies. Exponential decay is when you have inside this number is going to be smaller than 1. So if I do that, I know this minus this is 0.1. So that will be a decay. This one here is a 9, so that wouldn't qualify. This is a 1.5. This is a 1.25. 2/5 will qualify, and definitely this one will qualify. Okay, so local shipping company offers starting employees a salary of $30,000 per year. Employees receive a 30% pay increase each year they are with the company. What function represents the amount of an employee's salary after T years? So you're starting out at 30,000, and then you have a 0.03 increase each year. So 0.03, you have to have a 1. So it's 1 plus the rate that it is increasing. So then it would be A right here. What is the average rate of change over the intervals of 2 to 5? So you're going to do 7, 3 to the 5th power, and then 7, 3 to the 2nd power. All right, let's go on to number 20. So for number 20, looking at this piece right here, what you have is, okay, so then once we have this right here, remember you're going to be dividing the 5 minus the 2. So then altogether, you're going to have something that looks like 1701 minus 63 over 3. And then when you go ahead and subtract that, you will get a 1638 divided by 3. And that's going to give you 546, which is your answer. All right, so for number 20, let's go ahead and take a look at this part here. For 20, you are going to be adding polynomials. So remember, you want to start off with 14x cubed minus 7x squared, and then move that 6 over, plus 6x minus 1. And given the fact that this is a plus, you don't need to change the signs. So we're just going to go ahead and put a minus 3x squared minus 9x cubed and a plus 5. And keep in mind, this is just a blank right there, okay? So then let's go and take a look. 14 minus 9 is 5, x cubed minus 10, x squared plus 6x plus 4. And this right here is your answer. So is it A, B, C, or D? For number 21, notice how there's a minus sign now. So that's a minus, that's gonna be a positive, positive, negative. So we do exactly the same thing. That's from the first parenthesis. Second parenthesis, you wanna line it up. And then you just go ahead and add them. So I have 4p squared, 0 plus 6. So is your answer A, B, C, or D? All right, let's take a look at question number 22. For number 22, you have the product of 6x minus 5 and 3x plus 2. Product means you're going to be multiplying. And you guessed it, you're going to have to do FOIL. F-O-I-L. First is going to be 6x times 3x squared, 3x, which is 18x squared. Outer is going to be on the outside. So 6x and 2. So that's going to be 12x. Then you have inside, so the inside numbers. So that's going to be negative 15x. And then, of course, you have last, which is negative 6. Now, there are two numbers here that you can actually combine. It's usually the outside inside, which gives you a negative 3x. So altogether, your answer is 18x squared minus 3x minus 6. And that is your answer. Okay, last one. Let's go ahead and go over number 23. For number 23, you're going to have, you want to make a little chart with this one. Okay, so x negative 2 is right here. And then on top, we're going to have 4x squared, negative 8x, and 7. So let's just fill the boxes. X times 4x squared, there's 4 and 3 x's. X squared times 4x squared times negative 2, negative 8x squared, negative 8x squared, positive 16x, 7x, and negative 14. So your first answer and your last answer is always at the very end. So that's going to give you a 4x cubed minus 14. I have a bunch of spaces in between. And then what I have is this part here, diagonal, and this part here. So those are going to be your two answers in between. So that's a minus 16x squared and a positive 23x. And that's your answer. All right, you guys, now I'm going to have you guys go on to number 24, 25, and work on those two questions. Okay, so now what I want you guys to do is take a look at this part. Okay, so then looking at this part right here, go ahead and turn over to week 18 Wednesday, which you have this piece of paper in front of you. Or at least you should, because I'm actually checking right now to make sure it's in there. And yes, it is. It is in there. Okay, thank goodness. So let's go ahead and go over a few of these questions here. Question number 1, y is less than 3x squared. So you know it's going to be a happy face parabola. And remember with this one, you want x is equal to negative b over 2a. Well, your a is a 3, your b is 0. So 0 over 2 times 3 is 0. So you know that at x, you have 0. But the problem is you don't know what the y is, like how low do you go? So with the y, you're going to put in x equals 0. So y is less than, or you can put actually y is equal to 3 times 0 squared. So y is also 0. And then you're just going to draw a parabola like this. And looking at this part right here, you're going to test a point. Let's say, for example, if I pick a point on the inside of this graph, this point here is at 1, 6. Let's plug it in. Y is less than 3x squared. Y is 6 is less than 3 times 1 squared is 3. So is 3 bigger than 6? Nope, that's false. So that means you're going to be coloring outside of the dot, away from the dot. Now let's take a look at this question here for number 7. Okay, for number 7, you have, actually, you guys try number 7. YT, you try number 7. Pause the video. Okay, I'm going to skip over to number 9. So let's take a look at number 9. So looking at number 9, ask yourself what would be your first step for this. If you're not sure, that's okay. Let's go ahead and go over number 11 first, and then maybe you'll go back to number 9 and try that one on your own. So for number 11, again, x is equal to negative b over 2a. Your b is negative 2, your a is 1. So it's a positive 2 over 2 times 1, which is just going to be 1 for your x. Now that I have my x, I need to know what my y is. My y is going to be 1 squared minus 2 times 1 minus 1. So 1 minus 2 minus 1. So just negative 2. So then x is 1, y is negative 2. There we go. And it's going to be a U-shaped graph. So let's go ahead and pick a point. I'm just going to pick this one, 1, 0. Plug that in here. So 0 is y greater than 1 squared minus 2 times 1 minus 1. So is 0 bigger than 1 minus 2 minus 1? So that's going to be a negative 2. That is true. And if it's true, you're going to shade exactly where that point is, right there. I hope you guys realize that if it is going to be eating the letter y, you always shade inside the parabola. If it's not eating the letter y, you always shade outside. All right, go ahead and try number 9 on your own. Pause the video. Okay, take a look at your answer here. Okay, let's take a look at number 13. But number 13, notice there's a negative right there, so it's a sad face. And so your x is negative b over 2a, so that's positive 8 over 2 times negative 1, which is going to give you a negative 4. Now I need to know what the y is, and the y is going to be greater than negative 4 squared minus 8 times negative 4 minus 12, so that's a negative 16 plus 32 minus 12. Well, that right there is going to give me a 16. Minus 12 is going to give me a 4. So x is going to be at negative 4 and positive 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Sad face is going to go down this way. And you guys know that if it's eating the letter y, it's going to be shaded inside. You guys go ahead and try number 15. Go ahead and try number 17 as well. All right, so now that we are done with that, I'm going to have you guys go ahead and practice on our quizzes. And the practice that you guys are going to be working on is going to be graphing and shading quadratic inequalities. All right, so then we're going to go ahead and go to DrNataliaCallahan.com. And you're going to enter the code 37673450. All right, you guys, as always, I hope you have a wonderful week, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.